Hey guys, it's BW and we're back out in the garage. I just got done painting up these ladder bars, metallic silver we wanted. Man, they came out really nice, but let me tell you something. It's like I had a parade of strippers come through here with the glitter everywhere. Let's not tell Kim, it'll be our little secret, all right? But anyway, in this video, we're gonna try to go ahead and get these brackets welded in on the rear. I was under there looking, we'll see how it goes. We'll get it done. Stick around and check us out. Guys, let's take a look at the ladder bars real quick. They came out pretty nice. Overall, I'm pretty happy with them. It's a nice shiny, they call it metallic. Pretty neat. Really happy with them overall. I think it's a good job. I don't know, what do you guys think? All right, well, check it out. We got the deli sign up and going. All right, we got the old school Pepsi clock. I love them old school letters, you know. So it's pretty cool. So we'll figure out who we're going to put on there first, and then we'll maybe watch a half a video or a couple clips from a video from somebody, talk about their channel for a minute, and we'll try to do that weekly. All right, well, provided that's what everybody wants to do, we'll figure it out. All right, but on to other things. I've been looking under the car and studying it, and the right thing to do is just to drop it down on the jack stands and pull the rear out. And I'm gonna come underneath and show you real quick. It's either that or go to the weld store Monday or Tuesday night and buy more stick rod. And I'd rather just go ahead and MIG us with our new MIG gun. But you guys can see, it's like between the spring and the outside of this bracket, you just can't get the angle. It's just not going to be conducive to a nice weld. All right, so and aside from that, I'd still have to break it loose to make the welds on the perch anyway, you know. So the right thing to do would be just to bring it down, pull it out, make the welds, and put it all back in, perches and everything. So that's what we're going to do. I did a little bit of research. Standard tubes on a 9-inch rear are .250, which is 1/4 inch. Heavy wall is 275. We don't have that. Initially we did, but then we found out we were having problems getting shackles and plates. So Alan went ahead and put standard tubes on the rear. So, and that's 250. Now if you order, I did a whole bunch of research. If you were to order from like Curry, theirs are 188s, .188, which is a little thinner. But the reason being is their diameter's bigger and they claim it's stronger. So there's all kinds of debates about that on the internet, but for anybody who's interested, the standard tube on a 9-inch is .250. All right, and that's what we have, and our plates are 250. All right, so you know the rule of welding is the weld should be no bigger than the thinnest member of the parent material. So in our case, it would be 1/4 inch. Like if one thing was 1/8 and one thing was 1/4, then the weld would be about an 1/8 inch, a little bigger because everybody does a weave. But that's the basic rule of welding. You don't want the weld to be any larger than the thinnest member of the parent material. That's the scientific terms that I was taught anyway. But anyway, we're 1/4 to 1/4 and we're gonna pull the rear out. So I'll get the camera set up, and it's a little sketchy getting this thing up and down, but we gotta get it off the race blocks. We gotta put it onto the jack stands, and then we'll pull the tires, and then we'll drop the front. I guess we'll drop the front spring down, let it swing down, we'll unbolt it, and we'll try to roll it out as safely as we can. All right guys, well, we lowered it down, we took the shocks off. I remembered I needed to turn the camera back on, but man, this is a little sketchy. I don't like doing this at all. These blocks are really nice for working. Man, getting it up that high in the air and then bringing it down, get the butterflies a little bit. But I just have the jack. You can see it's not touching the rear. I just have it there. All right, so we got those rear jack stands. I'll bring you back there. They're holding the back. I got these two right here for safety because this is where I'm going to be working. All right, that way if something lets go, I got something to catch me. All right, so I got that. Now what I want to do is I'll show you those jack stands on the back real quick, but then I'm just going to take the tires off to lighten the load. There is no tension on the springs whatsoever, so once I get the tires off and take the front bracket bolts out, you can see right there, we got the jack stands, and they're catching the back. All right, so but once I take the front bracket bolts out, I'll show you the springs right there. To take these two front bolts out with that jack, I should be able to lower the rear right down. Okay guys, I thought we were plugging right along and battery died. I'm sorry, but I got the differential out on the ground. It's really pretty uneventful. You guys know the deal. Take the brakes off. I left the axles in and all the accessories. I didn't want to get to that. I just got to be careful not to bend my heat shields or whatever, my little tin shields. We got it out. It was pretty uneventful. I'll bring it over and show it to you real quick, and then I got about 20%. I just wanted to charge up and show you guys real quick that we got her out on the ground, okay? And it went from being a very challenging weld job to romper room, you know, kindergarten stuff. It's all right in front of your face now. Now we can get to the back side of our perch. See, we only had a couple tacks there. We didn't really disturb our plates. They look all right, so we're good to go there. All right, look how easy it is to get to everything now. So we're gonna get this stuff welded up, and then I'm gonna charge the battery. It's already turning red again. I'm gonna charge the battery, and then we'll bring you guys back in, and we'll try to get this thing in together. It's really no big deal. It's just like a door hinge. Bring it down. I get a little nutty. I like to take my U-bolts because when it's almost impossible when you swing it down to get them. So it's a little sketchy, but we got it. No problem. All right. All right, guys. Well, we got a bit of a charge on the camera now. I figured I'd bring you in, show you what I've been doing. Just making little welds on the brackets and on the perches, just a little bit at a time. I'm keeping things nice and cool. I'll make like a weld right here, then I'll move over and make a weld right here, then over here, and I'm always, you know, taking my bare hand after a minute after and just checking it. Back side of your hand, guys. That way if you get a little burn, you can still use your hand, but I'm not getting it that hot. I'm keeping it nice and cool. I'm even using my friend Jamie from across the pond. He likes to keep his sheet metal cooled from warping, but I figure full blast if I feel like it's getting a little too warm. I'll blast it with that for a minute or two, but like I say, I'm keeping it nice and cool to the touch. We're not doing too much at once, just a little bit at a time. All right, so that's where we're at, and I can see roll the rear around, show you. Getting ready to make some welds down on this side. All right, so that we can tie everything together. I feel like for these perches, it's going to come down around, and I'm just going to wrap them in and call it. I'm not going to try to go way up in there. That's overkill. No need for that. All right, so that's what we're doing right now. Bring you back in just a minute. Alright, I figured I'd show you guys, you know, I got a little carried away on this one, went a little far, but as you can see, it's still cool to touch. I went almost 1.5 inches, and I generally don't like to go that far. I like to keep it around 1 inch or so. Like I tied these ones together. Now right here, I'm gonna have to hit with a grinder because the gust of wind came in. You can't see it now, but I'll bet you a dime to a dollar there's a tiny bit of porosity right there. Got a gust of wind. I probably should put the garage door down, but it's so nice. If I only get one little one here and there like that, I don't mind touching it up. Looks really good. All right, so that's what we're at. That's what we're doing, and you're just gonna see more of the same. All right, so I'll get back with you guys in a little bit. Guys, I just wanted to take a second to shamelessly plug myself. If you guys haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, let YouTube know we're doing a good job here. Hit that subscribe button, guys. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, help support me, help support the community. It's an awesome thing. It's a lot of fun. All right, so that was my half second of plugging myself. Okay guys, well, it's now night. I had to take a quick break. My son's car broke down, the shifting cable broke, I think. So I had to go pick him up. Man, thank goodness for good friends. You guys know my buddy Mike. His brother Kevin was helping me with the brake lines on this car. And Mike came over a couple times and's in a couple videos as well. And they're off today. They have their own personal lives. You know, they got a business they run. But man, I called him up. He got a hold of his tow truck guy to have that car picked up and taken to his shop. That's a true friend, man, on a Sunday. I can't thank you enough, Mike. Thanks. It's nice to have good friends like that. But anyway, I got back home and I wanted to get the job finished up. All I had to do was slap the brakes back on, put the tires on, because the rear we already had in. And we slapped them back on. And then I went ahead and bolted in our ladder bars. They went right in. You know, our 1955 Chevy Gasser now has ladder bars. And it looks sick. I want to show you guys. You already know. You've seen them whenever they were tacked, when the brackets were tacked in and they were red. But now it's silver, man. And there it is, guys. I mean, it's killer. Look at that job. Huh? I'm telling you what, I'm really happy with the job. All right? I'm glad that we took the rear out and did it that way. That way the welds are way better than they would have been had I tried to do everything in place, because I'll tell you, it was really tight. There was no way with the spring and the bolt, the eye bolt, that I was going to be able to weld that inside of that perch. So that pretty much sealed the deal. So if I got to take everything off to get to that one weld, let's just do them all. And you know, I can tell you the truth, it took, I was texting with Gorney, it took me 20 minutes to get this rear out. 20 minutes. It took me over an hour to get it back in. I'm getting old. We played around with it and we got it in. Well, I showed you guys. You guys followed along on that part of the job. But anyway, look at this. Our ladder bars are in. It's a killer thing. Look at that, man. Straight on down the rails. All right. Our brackets sit kind of low. I was wondering if I want to put some aluminum blocks in there. I got a little more than 1.5 inches of stud there if I want to block it to bring them up a little bit. If the tire goes down, as long as it's still on the rim, this will stay off the ground, but it'll be pretty close. So that's something I want to think about, but there's no hurry on anything like that. That's down the road stuff. I can get some material, some aluminum blocks, and block it, do whatever. I got to look at it. The ride height's important to me too. A lot of this, guys, I'm not no super race car driver. A lot of this stuff is just for looks. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out, and we're overwhelmed. John Tinberg, thank you very much for the parts. And the guys that are watching, I know the one fella that's going to be putting these in himself. After you weld the brackets, when you're putting the ladder bar back in, they can be a little tight. So I just took a 2x4 and put it on my jack and just put a little bit of lube, and they went right up in, you know. That's all. As long as you have everything tacked properly. And you noticed when I welded mine, I kept everything cool. That way nothing gets warped or pulls too much, and so everything, it basically fell back together, guys. I mean, you know, they're right where they were tacked, and you know, I'm really happy with the job. So our next job is we're going to work on the exhaust while we got the car up in the air like this. I've got to order and get some parts and come up with a design and a plan. I have some stuff, and somebody commented on a video when we started the exhaust last time, and they were actually exhaust people, and they said, you know, you can start from the back. And I might, because we've already talked about it. I was going to dump right in front of the back tire, and Fiano, the Tri-5 guy, saved me from that, you know, saying that the exhaust was going into the cabin. So we're not gonna have any of that. You know, we want to be able to enjoy this car. I want to be able to take my wife for a ride, and I don't want her to feel like she's gagging. So we're going to exhaust it out the back. That's just the way I'm going to do it. All right. And my buddy Fiano saved me with that. But I might have to order some parts, so I don't know exactly when I'll start that job. But we got tons of other stuff to do on the car. Plus, I want to play with this sign, and I want to be able to start looking at featuring channels. You guys know about that. It's going to be a lot of fun to do that. I don't want anybody to feel like they're left out. I put a post up into the community page. You know, everybody's going to get a turn. You know, I'll do the best I can, but there's no particular order or anything like that. We're just going to have fun with it and support each other. This is all about community. This isn't any competition with anybody. We're all in the same thing. We all have the same goals. We're all hot rod guys. So at least in my shop, I'm here to help, and we'll all work together. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really excited about this phase of the car, and I'll catch you next time. Take care, everybody.